I'm Alan Ning. I'm with Zorianna Kit, and today we review Wes Anderson's The French Dispatch. So, I'm vaguely familiar with Wes Anderson. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan where I would go out and go see everything he's done. And so that's kind of my approach coming into this one. And this is very Wes Anderson, but it's very different as well. I think this is more of an anthology, but it does have that flavor and that stylism that he brings to all his films. And this one's about basically the idea is the French Dispatch is an American newspaper based in France that brings all the news to Kansas about what's going on in France, which seems like a Wes Anderson plot anyways. So what were your thoughts about the French Dispatch?
Okay, so I watch every Wes Anderson movie when it comes out, because sometimes I just love his films and sometimes I don't. So I am like Pavlov's dog, where I will, I will keep tapping and,
You'll give him your money.
Yes, exactly. And I do have to say, this one was really one of the best. It was like, it was every Wes Anderson movie, but like on double steroids, which, a lot of his movies are already on steroids in a way. And what I mean by that is that this film is just packed with so much stuff. First of all, it's packed with so many actors, more than any other one of his films. I mean, even like Henry Winkler is in this movie. It's more of a question of who's not in this movie, right? So everyone's in this movie. And, I had to make a list because also there's so many different techniques that are packed into this movie. And we have everything from, we've got black and white, we have animation, we have these still life tableaus, we have dioramas. And so
it's the 4:3 old film ratio.
Yeah, the old aspect ratios in there.
Yeah.
So all of that is also just packed. And then of course the colorful stuff and the period stuff. It's just everything is crammed in here. But it's really like, it's great. I thought it was like zany. And there was one reviewer. I don't remember who that was, but I have to steal his line. He said that it was like a real life Looney Tunes, like it was a real life Looney Tunes cartoon, because it was that loony. But
there was an animated sequence in it as well.
Yes.
I'm just going to add on to it. Yeah. You know what? I will say this. It's an anthology, so there's 3 main stories. There's a few bits here and there. I will say I liked the first 2 stories. The third one, I was just sitting there going, we need to end this. This movie needs to be over.
I agree, because my critique was that the movie is a little too long for my taste. And by the time we got to that third anthology, I really was ready for the film to wrap it up. Like, I was like, okay, it's been really fun, but I have to get back to some normalcy around here.
All right, so let's quickly break down a few things. The first main story is Benicio del Toro is a prisoner who's a brilliant artist. We discover he's a brilliant artist. One of the correction officers, Leah Sidao, is his muse, and it kind of gets into this idea of a man being trapped but being able to do art. The value of art.
Is mental illness art? Are artists mentally ill? If they're in an asylum, can they be murdered? Do you distinguish between murderers and art? And
not since the Amy Schumer movie have I enjoyed a Tilda Swinton performance. I mean, she is like a train wreck. That was the movie. She is a similar character, just full of life and not what you would think of as Tilda Swinton.
Exactly. And actually I loved the art dealer, his art dealer who represented him, who was in jail with him. I cannot Adrien Brody. Yeah. Adrien Brody. he speaks so fast in this movie, and so many characters in true Wes Anderson fashion do speak really fast and really comically. And if you laugh at one part, you've probably missed another joke that comes down the line because they speak so fast. That was probably that was my favorite storyline out of all the three anthologies. What do you have to say?
And it's weird. You kind of wish you'd lead up to the best one.
I know. They should have done it the reverse order.
Yeah, the second one is Frances McDormand. She's a journalist, an American journalist covering the student riots. The leader is Timothée Chalamet. Yeah. And what's funny to me is just the fact that everyone speaks French except Timothée Chalamet.
who in real life French is his first language. That's the whole irony.
It's just so American. It's like
yes.
Yeah, and then the third one, Jeffrey Wright plays a food critic, but it's really about a kidnapping of I think it's the police officer's son, which leads to this really loony animated sequence of a chase, which I guess is a great way to spend less money on.
Well, exactly. And as you notice, the fight sequences, even like in the first anthology, it's these frozen tableaus. So it's frozen chaos that kind of depicts what this fight, but it's not. Yeah. You totally save money by making it that way. But what I do want to say, which is something I haven't really seen in a Wes Anderson movie, is that the themes in each one are slightly deeper than his films normally go to. And even though on the surface it is crazy Looney Tunes and hijinks and all sorts of people talking a mile a minute and things like that, how the first one was about art and who an artist, what constitutes being an artist or artwork. The second one is journalistic integrity of how can you be removed from what you're writing if you start getting involved with the subject matter that you're writing about? And the third one, Jeffrey Wright plays a man who was imprisoned because he was a gay Black man, and so these issues are. There's slightly deeper issues at the root here. So I really appreciated that because it just gave the whole film just a little bit more of a weight. And I appreciated that.
Yeah, and as much weight as there is, it's a fun movie. It's just, it's more of a sly dark than a dark tale.
Yes.
And it's for its muted colors, it's really full of life.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're a fan of Wes Anderson. You said I think you said it was his best. So
yeah, it was.
So yeah, let's. I don't know what you rated the other ones, so I'm gonna guess a 9 here.
God, I'm gonna go for 8.5. Because for me, once I start feeling like it's getting a bit too long and I start getting fidgety, then I'm taken slightly out of the movie, and I don't like that. I don't like that I stop appreciating it because I'm done. So it doesn't get as high as a 9, but it is going to be an 8.5. And I do feel like there's a lot of aspects of this film that do deserve a good look come award season, especially in the crafts areas, because things like cinematography and the costume and the makeup, everything as usual is just so beautifully done. The craftsmanship is so great, and the detail, the attention to detail in every aspect, the production design, everything is so exquisite that you simply cannot overlook it during
I was exhausted just thinking about how much effort it is to get each of these shots lined up.
So for you, I think that you really enjoyed this movie too. I feel like we both liked it for the same reasons, and we both, disliked it in the sense that we both felt it was too long. So, but I just don't feel like you gave it an 8.5. I think you went down to an 8, maybe even 7.5.
Yeah, I kind of wavered between two. I'm gonna give it an 8. What you said about that third one, Jeffrey Wright being the gay Black man, I didn't get any of that. And I think Yeah, the stories do go on quite a bit, and I remember at the end of the second one feeling like, all right, I've gotten enough of this movie. And then when the third one happened, and then it goes on for a while, it's like, oh, all right, I've kind of mentally checked out at that point in terms of, really trying to dig into what's happening, and that's kind of how I felt. The first two stories, great. I was bought in. I appreciate this movie, and I generally stray away from being kind of a directorial sycophant in the sense of, I don't necessarily see a movie just because of who the director is. It's more about, to me, because a certain person directed it, it's about the odds that it's going to be a good movie, and that's kind of where I gauge that. And this is a good movie, and so definitely go see it. You're gonna have fun if you like comedies, if you like to laugh. This is a good movie to see.
Well, it's not a mainstream movie though. Like I do feel like when you say if you like comedy, you will love this. It's not like going to see a Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson Wedding Crashers movie. It's not.
Well, it's
kind of movie though.
Yeah, it's funny on the quirky end. It's a very quirky movie, and I think why it works is the intentionality, the precision that Wes Anderson brings to each scene and each frame that makes this movie quirky enough to say it's quirky but not stupid, or quirky not silly.
Yeah,
it's quirky in a very artistic way.
Yes, very artistic.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so be sure to like, subscribe. Let us know what you thought of The French Dispatch. This is one of those movies that you're gonna have to drag yourself out to go see, because it's just, it's not Marvel. So,
but go drag yourself. Do yourself a favor. Do that.
All right. So with that, let's get out of here.